Yap with me while I get ready. Y'all already know what time it is. What time it is. And y'all know I am not no makeup artist. I can't give y'all no tips and no tricks. I just be doing some shit and it just so happens to work. I'm also not doing like a full, 1-2 because I'm about to put on a wig that's gonna cover most of my face. But for the girls who do know what they're doing as far as makeup, I'm just gonna show y'all what I'm using, and then y'all tell me, if it's cool, if we fucking with it, and if y'all have better recommendations. So for the primer, I'm using e.l.f. Power Grip primer. None of this is a paid ad. I'm doing all of this for the free ski because today I really just wanted to yap about the things that no one taught me, but I was willing to learn as I grew the fuck up. I feel like it's been a really relatable experience going through adulthood, especially navigating my womanhood and not having a whole lot of teachers and guidance and stuff like that. And to be honest with y'all, a lot of things I don't know because the women in my life just never taught me. And then they be looking at me like, girl, how don't you know this? And I'm like, well, you never said anything. And then now they're like, okay, here's tea. And there's a myriad of things, especially when it comes to navigating this woman body that I'm growing into. I mean, that in itself is a whole lesson to be learned because no one really taught me how to understand my body. They taught me, eat healthy, stretch, manage your stress. When you turn this age, your body's going to start doing this thing. And when you turn that age, your body's going to start doing that thing. But no one really went in depth of what that could feel like. And obviously it's going to be different for everybody, but nobody really told me, at least what their experience with it was. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to hormonal health, hormonal changes. The bulk of that I did learn about menopause and perimenopause from my mom. She was actually very vocal about that. But when it comes to just regular, well, menopause is regular, but when it comes to the minor changes in your young adult years, I'm 25 and my body is starting to do things and my body's starting to crave things. No one really prepared me for this. I did, make a list because y'all know me. I got to keep my handy dandy notebook. Because if I don't write this shit down, then I'm just going to be talking myself in circles and talking all over the place because y'all know I love to yap. That's literally why I have yap sessions. Duh. So I wrote down 5. The list can obviously go on, but these are just the first 5 that came to me as I was kind of sitting with the thought. The first thing that I was willing to learn on my own is that I need to be kind to myself. And, we hear that a lot, but no one really teaches us what that could mean and how to actually be kind to ourselves. They just tell you, stop being so hard on yourself. Be kind. I was willing to learn my own kindness and my own patience with me. Now, I am my biggest critic, as we all are, but I'm also the love of my life. And that is a truth that I, accepted later on in my adult years. So that means that I have to move like it. I have to treat myself like I love myself. I have to treat myself like I am the number one lover in my life. That means avoiding negative self-talk. And that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be times where I slip up and say things, but definitely being more mindful of the things that I say to myself and the things that I say about myself. If I wouldn't talk about the love of my life like that, why would I talk about myself like that? I should be speaking life into myself, affirming me, uplifting me, and telling myself, sweet things that I deserve to hear because I am the love of my life. I've also been learning how to applaud my effort instead of just picking on my shortcomings where I quote unquote failed at or fell short at. I need to actually acknowledge the things that I've succeeded well in, even if it is just celebrating my smallest wins. By doing so, I'm able to be kinder to myself. I think this is a little bit darker than I need it to be, but we're gonna figure that out later. Oh wait, I used the darkest one. Oops. But yeah, I need to applaud my efforts and, you know, the work that I've actually put in and that has made me progress, instead of just picking on myself for my shortcomings and for the things that I did not accomplish or that I failed to succeed in. It's really not nice to keep picking yourself apart and to keep reminding yourself of the things that you did not do while you are striving towards accomplishing the things that you want, you know? I mean, imagine if there was just somebody that was always on your ass, constantly nagging about things that you've missed or the things that you're not doing right and the things that you're lacking, instead of just constantly praising you for what you have going on. That doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when another person does it, so it definitely doesn't feel good when I do it to myself. Being kind to myself also includes me slowing the fuck down instead of rushing myself to make imaginary deadlines. Telling myself that I have to have certain shit figured out by a certain time in my life is literally doing me a disservice. What am I racing against? What am I trying to accomplish here if I'm just rushing myself and trying to rush my progress? I'm not even learning anything. I'm not giving myself time to, you know, experience the experiences and then just live my life. I'm constantly in this state of like hustle and bustle and just trying to rush to get there. And there is no rush, especially when it comes to this life shit. And when I slow down, I can also feed my mind, body, and spirit the things that it actually needs, regardless of what I want. I know sometimes I want to have that cheat meal and I want to consume more sugar, but I know for sure I need to eat some fucking vegetables. That is the kindest thing that you could do to yourself, is consuming the things that will make you feel good with a long-term great investment. Or, you know, limiting the things that I watch or listen to. Now, I love me a little ratchet booty shaking music here and there. I love me a little hip hop, a little trap music, but also it's not kind to myself by constantly consuming murder, kill, fuck bitches, get money. I hate everything. I hate everyone. I'm do what the fuck I want to do. That's just not, it's not healthy on the long run. You know, it feels good in the moment, but it's not something that does my mind well. It doesn't really feed my fantasies. It doesn't add any wins in my life. It's catchy. It's good to listen to, you know, sometimes, but it's not what my body needs. It doesn't have a great long-term investment on myself. I need to feed my spirit what it needs, feed my mind and my body what it needs, regardless of how good it tastes. Sometimes you do need to pick up that self-help book, because you do need to sit with yourself and, you know, see where you can improve and be able to acknowledge your growth, your journey, your strengths, your limitations, take accountability, etc., etc. It is a process. It's not always fun, and sometimes I'd much rather, you know, indulge in something more fantastical. Whatever. Sometimes I'd much rather indulge myself in something more leisurely, but that might not be the thing that I need right now. Just because that tastes good, you know, filling my mind up with, you know, little fantasy things that has a little temporary fix. I know that the long-term investment would be me consuming something that would actually help me in the long run. The second thing, I feel the most feminine when I slow the fuck down. Not only is it, you know, being kind to myself, but it also just allows me the opportunity to like think clearly and to actually move with intention. I feel like if I'm constantly in a rush, I'm always in that hustle and bustle, I'm too frantic. My mind is too chaotic and I don't feel at ease. To me, that's very masculine. When I move slow, I'm able to sense more. I'm able to think clearly. I'm more aware of my thoughts and my surroundings, and I can actually accept that I am safe right here, right now. If I'm always in a rush or I'm always moving fast, I don't really get the opportunity to like notice that or accept that truth, because I'm constantly moving, and then I don't really see what's in front of me. I can't sense anything because I'm just always on go. I'm so disconnected from my body and my mind isn't present. Slowing down kind of gives me the opportunity to, just do like a whole mind and body scan to check in with myself and then remind me and my nervous system that we're good. Moving slow also assures me that I don't have to chase or fight for the things that I desire. What's mine is already going to present itself to me. I don't need to rush to get it. I don't need to fight to get it. I barely have to move, okay? I mean, obviously you gotta move, but I don't have to do too much for those things. It's already mine. It's coming to me. It's on its way. I'm literally attracting the thing that is rightfully mine, and I can attract it so much better when I slow the fuck down. What Ariel J said, I already know what's mine is on the way. I don't even gotta chase. Heavy on that, but I feel like I really embody that truth when I slow the fuck down. And it's so funny because growing up, I actually used to get in trouble for moving slow, and still to this day. People tell me that I move painfully slow. Then I look at those same people who say that, and they're moving so fast that they can't catch a fucking break. They literally cannot catch a break because their life moves fast and they are moving fast. So I take advantage of my opportunity to just slow the fuck down, to move slow and to exist with ease. I move painfully slow, but I'm experiencing significantly less stress because I'm able to just be present in the moment and sense what's going on around me. How my makeup look so far? I hope this shit look good. It look good in the mirror. I hope it look good in the camera. And then this third one is the one that really got me, and I'm having quite a time learning on my own, but it's how to show up in my dream relationship. I was just taught what to look for, what to accept, what not to accept. I was taught the do's and don'ts in a relationship. I was taught how to perceive my partner and make demands from them, but no one ever told me what my place would be in the relationship, how I'm supposed to show up. Obviously it would vary depending on the person that I'm with, and I'll be able to show up however they need me to, but there's just certain ways that you have to grow in a certain kind of person that you have to be in a relationship, and no one really taught me that. I wasn't taught how to be vulnerable. I wasn't taught, effective communication when it comes to my feelings, and learning how to express my feelings without actually projecting them onto them. Like if I'm sad or I'm angry, to explain that I'm angry and why, instead of catching the attitude and cursing this motherfucker out. You feel me? Now I've learned how to take initiatives in my relationship instead of waiting for him to take the lead and for him to be proactive on literally every single thing that I want. I understand now that there are some things that I can just make happen on my own. I don't have to wait for my partner to do it for me, because it wouldn't be fair to, expect 50-50 in a relationship, but just leave everything on his plate to handle, and then I just sit around and let my existence be the thing that I provide. I've also learned how to honor his feelings. I don't come from a family with a lot of men. I come from a matriarch family. So for one, living with a man is something that's very new and very different for me, especially handling a man's emotions, especially a man who is also conditioned that he is not allowed to, express his emotions. That is a really big thing for me to learn. I've also learned how to make him special. I've always learned about, things that the woman needs to feel special. Buy her flowers, take her on dates, take her on trips, shower her, spoil her. Everything is about her. But now I'm understanding how to, turn that and apply it to him. How can I make him feel special? How can I make him feel, wanted and desired? How can I make him feel good? Instead of just expecting and receiving all of this for myself, how can I return the favor to him? I'm just constantly finding ways to show up and maintain this relationship without putting everything on his shoulders. It's really just not fair to leave it one-sided, and you can't call it an equal 50-50 relationship if one partner is, you know, doing all of the courting and all of the dating and all of the vulnerability, and then the other partner just gets to exist. It's not fair, especially when it comes to pursuing a romantic and an intimate connection. I feel like as little girls growing up, we grow up seeing how Prince Charming does all of this work to get the girl, to get the woman, and then we don't really see her happily ever after. You know, we just know that the prince comes, he saves the girl, and they live happily ever after, but we don't know what that looks like for her. We don't know how she shows up as a princess. We don't know her day-to-day happily ever after. We just see that the damsel is in distress and she just existed in her own world, and here comes Prince Charming coming to make everything better and crown her as princess, and that's it. So now I'm learning what does the princess do after she is crowned princess? What does she do for her prince? What does she do to maintain this happily ever after? And it looks different for everybody. So I'm honestly just trying to figure out how that's supposed to look for me and mine. Because obviously what I eat is not going to make anybody else shit. Number 4, my inner child is just thrilled to learn this. But I don't have to be scared of money. I don't have to be afraid of money. Like most people, I have my own financial traumas that has prohibited me from making money because I've always been afraid that if I have it, I will lose it. But that's literally the point. Money is an energy exchange meant to be given and received, never held and kept in one little container. Money is like water. It has to keep flowing. It needs to move. What's even cooler is that dollars, fiat currency, like that's not the only kind of currency that exists. You also have social currency, which, you know, uses your likeness to grant you goods and opportunities and services. Think community building. For me and my friends, we all use our own social currency with each other. Oh my God, speaking of friends and social currency. Hi!
Hi.
Hey, baby!
Aww.
It's so funny you called because I'm filming a video and I'm talking about how I don't have to be afraid of money and how like dollars aren't the only currency. And I was talking about like social currency and how within my friends we use our likeness to get like opportunities and experiences with each other, and we exchange our own like valuable skill sets to help each other's lives get easier. It's not just about like spending dollars, but it's like I know that this friend has this type of skill, I know that that friend has that skill, and I have this, and we just all pull it together. And you called. This is one of my most valuable friends ever. Speaking of,
Hey.
oh my God, one of the most valuable friends that I have, my sweet Nikki. Ugh, it's just so fulfilling having a community, but community, that's a currency. Having people in your life who can, you know, pour love into you, invest love into you. People in your life who can invest knowledge and wisdom and support into you. That is currency. Also thinking about like networking and influencing. We're in the age of influencers. People are literally using their likeness as a currency. I have this platform, I have this personality, brands want to give me stuff so that I make it do what it do. Instead of me having to pay for the things that I like, I get it because I am simply me. That is my social currency. But yeah, and even just as simple as, like I was saying, adding your valuable skills to exchange for other goods, services, and experiences. I love me a good barter and trade. Okay, one thing about it, I'm gonna barter some shit. Once I kind of like had a different mindset around money, it made me less afraid to acquire it because I can use money to just keep getting things that I want and I need. But knowing that that money doesn't have to just involve actual like dollars, pesos, reais, like it can be anything. Anything can be money. Water is fucking money. And number five was probably the first thing that I learned becoming an adult. Moving away from your hometown can really expand your opportunity for growth and development. When you leave your hometown, you are also leaving behind everything that you thought you knew, a whole world that you've grown accustomed to. You are leaving behind certain languages, cultures, customs, all of these things that were once part of your norm. And when you go into a new environment, whether it be another city, another state, or country, you are adjusting to that of someone else's. I moved down south. I am a northern girl, okay? I moved down south and I got accustomed to southern hospitality. I had to get used to being seen because southerners will look at you. And it's not a rude thing, you know, these people are just observing their environment and you are in their environment. So you can't have a problem with that like you would up north. Also had to get accustomed to the languages, the way that they speak out here. How certain tones may sound aggressive, but that's literally just how they talk. Even the slang is different. The food. Things that I probably never would have thought to eat and I've never fucking heard of, now it's part of like my diet. You also have a better opportunity for growth when you move away because you become more exposed to interests and opportunities that are probably not accessible where you're from. And remember, your hobbies and interests can definitely open pathways to a completely different life that you probably would have never known. I started pole dancing as a hobby. I probably never would have done pole dancing back home where I'm from because I've never heard about it as a thing there. But I moved down south and I seen, you know, obviously I learned about it online, but I seen that there were studios in the city that I was in. And I started pole dancing as a hobby. And that hobby quickly turned into a passion and it literally turned into a career for me. Threw me off the track that I thought that I was supposed to be on. The plans that I initially had for myself quickly changed because my hobbies and my interests were actually so much more significant than that. When you move away from your hometown, you are also coming across different people that will be so valuable for your journey and for your growth. These people have wisdom that, you know, you can find back home, but because they come from a different background and a different culture, it has its own significance to it. Meeting people from all walks of life definitely diversifies your community. It diversifies your language, the way that you show up as a person. It reflects you in so many different ways that would be hard to catch on to when you're in your hometown because everyone is just like you. You're able to meet people who are a bit different but still figure out where those similarities are, and also learning how to make those differences serve as a strength in your friendship or in your relationship. Okay. Well, this is the makeup look, okay? Like I said, I didn't really do too much because I got the fro on and I'm still debating on if I want to do lashes. Nah, I'm not going to do lashes. I don't know. Part of me wants to, but also I don't want to have to take them shits off. So, oops, shit. I'm not going to do lashes. I'm just going to keep it with the... No, I'm not going to do lashes. I'm not going to do lashes. Yeah, that is pretty much the end of my yap. Those are just 5 things that I learned on my own. Obviously, the list can really go on, but then I'd just be talking your heads off. But then again, if you made it this far, you clearly love when I talk your head off. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, the cliche one too. But also let me know what are some things that you learned on your own that no one taught you, but you were willing to navigate with yourself and your own experiences. And then also tell me how good my makeup looks. If it looks like shit, tell me how to make it better, but be nice. Anyways, love you. Bye.